everyone, I'm Dani and welcome to On the Mend, a sewing show where your host has no idea how to sew. Okay, that's not completely accurate. I'm not totally clueless. I just still consider myself a beginner. But hopefully with each project we'll get a little bit better. Speaking of projects, today we are going to make this adorable hanging planter. Now this little guy isn't going to make himself, so if we're going to do it, we're going to have to start with the ingredients. Okay, we're going to start with, obviously, your sewing machine. 2 rectangular pieces of outdoor fabric measuring 15 3/4 inches by 6 inches. Then we're going to need a 5-inch diameter circle for your base. I like to draw a 1/2 inch circle inside of it for my seam, just for a visual. We're going to need 48 inches of polyester trim, 2 large hook and D-rings, a ruler, thread, pins, wonder clips, chalk, scissors, obviously a plant. I use one in a pot that's 3 inches tall and 4 inches in diameter across the top. Either a plastic saucer that fits the pot or a cork saucer. An iron, and this goes without saying, before cutting or sewing, always iron everything. And if you're like me, 6 seam rippers, and a full pot of coffee. Now that you have all your ingredients, let's start sewing. Now that you have all those together, let's go to step 1. Dun, dun, dun. Take your first panel, the one you want on the outside, the pretty one. Oh, that's mean. You're pretty too. Take our panel, the side that you want on the outside, and you're going to lay it face up. Then you take your second panel, the one that's going to go on the inside, and place it right on top of the other one, like they're kissing. Take my ruler. I'm going to draw a line a 1/2 inch from the top, stopping an inch before the end. This will come into play later. And after that, we pin. Now that we're pinned, we are ready to sew. You're going to stitch along this line, stopping an inch from the edge. I can't even stress how important that is. Oh, back stitch, back stitch, back stitch, back stitch. I always forget. You definitely do not want your garment to fall apart. I mean, it's probably going to do that anyway, but, I mean, whatever helps it get through the day. I'm normally not this fast, I'm just showing off for you guys because I like to pretend that I'm excellent. And back stitch. Oh hey, I remembered to put the inch on this time. And voila. Oh, don't forget to trim the edges. I'm gonna put the lipstick on the pig, you know what I mean? It's gonna look crappy, it's because of what I did, not what I left, right? For this one, we're going to need to bring out the iron. So you're going to take your panels, open them like a book, flip them around so they're back to back. They're mad at each other. Just kidding. They're buddies. They'll be friends forever. And then you're going to take your iron and you're going to iron that crease right there. So that way it's nice and neat. And that will be the top of your planter. So it looks nice and clean. Then we're going to go back to that opening that we left, and you're going to take your ruler yet again, and you're going to measure 1/2 inch and draw a line. And you're going to do the same on the other side. And then we're going to fold these 1/2 inches right on the line that is drawn and iron that so it lays flat. And this is going to be our hem. Oh. The old pin and tuck, but anyway, sorry. What am I saying with the lines again? Can't I get this? So you're going to go on your opposite side we have not ironed yet, and you're going to draw a line 1/2 inch from the edge, and then that is going to tuck in to the seam end on the other side, and we are going to pin it, and let's hope and pray it turns out to be a nice cylinder. You know what, it's actually not terrible. I've done worse. Well, now that we have pinned this, we are going to sew the seam right here. So we're just going to basically sew down this line. This is important. Make sure this underside doesn't get swept up in the line of sewing. So I like to take off my flatbed here. Hopefully your machine does the same. Backstitch, always with the back stitching. One day I will do it just ingrained. It's not today though. And it bunches up, we move it down a little bit. And I don't even get a light. And let's hope that turned out. And hopefully it looks like a nice cylinder. And of course we're going to trim it up. Lord knows it needs all the help it can get. And then after that, we go on to our next step. And if you think this was difficult, well, this is the part where I like to break out the wine. You think I'm kidding. Where is my wine? Somebody's supposed to bring this to me, right? So, now on to the base. First thing you're going to do, flip this inside out. And there are numbers of ways to do this. I've tried gathering, I've tried, I don't know. I think I came up with my own ways to do this. I couldn't get them to work. This is the only way that worked semi-well. So if you have a better suggestion, please, please, please comment and let me know. So my way, fold this in half, and I'm going to mark on the creases here. And I'm going to fold it the other way and mark on those creases. So that way I've got 4 points. And I'm going to do the same with this lovely circle that we've already done. Crease it, mark it, and then we'll fold it in half the other way. and mark it. And these are going to be kind of our guideposts as we go to make sure if I'm completely off, I will know it and immediately go get my ripper. Now we're going to try our best to match up each mark to the mark on the cylinder. And I've already lost them. Oh, they're there. Again, this was probably the most stressful part about this. And we're certain we can't hot glue this together. Now I'm going to go around and clip in between each clip. And once you have something that looks like a puppet monster, we're going to attempt to sew this. Now I like to start at the seam so that way I have a frame of reference on how much farther I have to go. And we're just going to slide this in. We're going to try our best to sew on this line right here. Starting to understand why everyone starts with a handbag, because goodness gracious. Okay, moment of truth. Do I end up lying in a little ball in the corner crying, or can we move on to the next step? And there you go. We may proceed. And you got yourself a little plant bowl. Now on to the straps. Ta-da! Oh, I kind of like them this way too. That'll be another one. Strap time. Alright, next the strap. Now I use polyester trim, and I know it's kind of out there and weird, but A, I like the way it looks, and B, if you fold it over, you can do a fun little decorative stitch on the other side, making it look a little jazzy, little fun. So I have all of these choices that I get to make, and I'm going to do this little, gosh, I don't know what it is. It looks like a fish, so let's go with that one, yeah? And we're just gonna go, this is a little tedious, the whole length of it, we're just gonna sew it. What's wrong with her, doctor? Oh, she had a sewing breakdown. She just keeps saying plant hammock over and over and over. I have no idea what she's talking about. Yay! Cool. And now you have a nice pretty strap. Alright, now that you've made your pretty little stitch, we throw it away. No, I'm just kidding. Put that off to the side, and we're going to go back to our sock puppet here. Flip it inside out. Now depending on where you want the straps, I think it's kind of obvious to put the seam in the back. I don't know, whatever you want. And we're going to measure, get my little marking tool that I love so much. We're going to measure 1.5 inches down on one side. And then flip it over and do the same thing. And that is where we're going to sew the straps. Remember our pretty little design? We're going to cut 2 6-inch pieces from it. No. Okay, we'll take one of our 6-inch pieces, grab our D-ring, optional. I think they look cool. And we're going to pull it together, and you're going to place it on one of those marks. If you want it inside, facing outside, just make sure you do the same on the other side. And we're going to pin it right there. After you pin it, we're going to sew right along that strap. Notice I still have my flatbed off. It'll help if you keep it off, trust me. I like to do this because it's holding the weight of the plant. I like to go over it like 5 or 6 times. Okay, not that many, but I like to go back and forth at least once. And there's one. And we're going to do the same on the other side. Make sure they're facing the same way. Okay. Then on the other side, we're going to do the same thing with the other strap, the other 6-inch strap. Make sure everything is facing the same way as the other side. You don't want a lopsided plant hanger. We're going to pin that right on that mark we made, 1.5 inches down. And put it in. Sometimes you just gotta treat it like a lady. Finesse it a little bit. Alright. Back at it. And alrighty. Then we're going to take our long strap and we're going to loop it in 1 inch, and we're going to sew right on there. Make sure that it's facing the same way that the other stitching is, just so it looks a little bit more cohesive. Backstitch, and we'll clean all this up later. Obviously, you're gonna have threads everywhere. No! Alright. And then the other side, I have to follow this around so I don't get all twisted up. And then flip it around, do 1 inch. And sew this thread. Really? Come on, guys. And I like to try to get this thread as close to the edge as possible so it doesn't look as unfinished. And let's see our little buddy. Let's see our guy. Where's my plant? Oh my gosh. I lost it. Hold on. Well, let's try this guy. This is Alfred. Say hello. I don't know why I named him Alfred. They name all my plants. Might be weird. I know. So we'll go in. And this flips over. And voila! Home for Alfred. Oh my gosh! It's even better than I thought it was going to turn out. And of course, trim it all up and everything. But this will be his little home till I kill it and have to get another one. But for now, Alfred's here. Anyway, I left my email down at the bottom. I would love to see pictures of your finished planter. If you have any ideas or comments, I will try to get to all of them, and I look forward to, you know, doing this every month. It's a great time. And anyway, I will see you next time on the mend. On the mend. Remember, if I can do it, you can. I don't know.